Okay, welcome back. So in the last lesson we quadded up all of our assets. So now I just wanted to take a look at some more trickier areas such as around here. Now you'll have to be really careful with this area, and what I suggest you do is start getting rid of some of these faces. So what I'm doing is I'm right hand clicking and going into edge, and then I'm just sort of selecting the edges. You can come in and just multiply select them like that just by dragging across them, and then I'm just going to hit the delete on the keyboard. Now I'm still keeping this shape, and that's because if we look, we've still got all of our vertices, and that's good. So let's continue around here and just basically just get rid of all of these. I'm just holding the shift key as I'm dragging it over these, so that, and then I'm just deleting them as I get round to them. So through here, I'm actually going to come over to my layers option and turn that off for now, just because it's getting in the way, and you'll have to be quite close with some of this. You'll have to zoom right in so that you manage to capture all of these little points. Okay, now it is, you can see as we go around it, it's not really sharp, but when we apply the smoothing process, let me just show you now, it will smooth all of this up. So I'm pressing 3. Actually it's not working properly yet because we haven't put everything in place, but it will become really smooth once we start setting things up. So back to edges again and just finish this off. And so I'm just going around. I'm not deleting any of the edges, any of this stuff yet. I'm just going around it all carefully. So I'm going to just finish off doing this and doing exactly the same on the D, and then I'm going to pause the video while I do this because it'll take a little bit of time, and then we can have a look at what we do to try and clean it all up. So I'm working my way across to the D now and just going to select the D, go to edges and just select and start deleting them out. So I'll see you in a minute when I've finished up cleaning this D and the J. Okay, right, that is done now. So I'm going to go back into vertice mode, and I'm going to press Control Q and just lock to these vertices that are down here and here. Okay, so that eliminates all this top section. Shouldn't need to touch any of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete out some of these vertices, the ones that are quite close to each other, as I don't need all of these points. As long as I've got a low point and a high point, it will smooth between them. So that's quite even there. Now I'm going to press, I'm just going to get rid of that one as well because he's just hanging around there, and I'm going to get rid of that one as well. And then I'm going to start working my way through this. So I'm going to press Control Q and I'm going to lock to the first one, come down to there and press Enter. Now you need to keep checking back and seeing that you're doing a good job. So that one there and there I'm going to get rid of. And the ideal thing is to match the number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to need to remove a few more of these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be sufficient. Okay, Control Q. I might have to add a few more. Enter. Control Q. Enter. Enter. You might get to a point where you run out of markers, which I have. That's fine. We can keep adding them. Control Q. Just put these on here. Enter. And I'll just have a look at them now. Got one more to add. Oh. Just need to go into perspective mode again. Control Q and enter. Okay, that could be better, it could be straighter, but you get the idea. So run through it. That's all quads, and we've kept that nice smooth curve. As you can see, when I press 3 on the keyboard, it goes nice and sharp again. Now you can manually adjust these, so I'll be flicking this curve up just to see that it's close to it. So do the same for this one. Before we do that, I'm going to put the curves in position again so we can see them, and I'm going to do my split along here. I'm just going to basically split it out. So I'm going to press Control Q again, and I'm going to choose an area, maybe across something like that. Press enter, press Control Q again, come down there, and I don't like that one actually, so I'm going to press Control Z to undo it. And I'm just going to go to my front view and press the Control Q again, line this up. It's not bad. Okay, that's good. And I'm pressing Control Q again, and I want to get it so that it's straight down there. Press enter, and now I can start. This bit's fairly straight along here, but I can start to cut certain parts out. So with this one in particular, I've got to start to create my actual roundiness for the D inside. So I'm going to use Control Q again, and I'm just going to come into my, I'm jumping around here using my space bar, yeah, just putting the mouse over it. So I'm going to put this in there, come down the bottom and press enter, and that will give me room for that. So I'm now going to come in and right hand click for face, and I'm going to delete that one out. And now I'm going to start to create this piece. So I don't need this edge or this edge, so I'm deleting them out. And I'm just going to look at my vertexes and try and simplify this down. Going to get rid of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 that side. That one can go. Looks like there's a few in there. That's all right. And I've got a couple in there as well. Let me just zoom in here. Okay, that's good. Right. Now I'm going to press Control Q and start to link up. So this is going to be a little bit more fiddly because I'm going to have to actually position these after I've put them in. So I'm control Qing, and it doesn't really matter how far up I go because I'm going to move all these points anyway. And control Q. Let's find the next one. Control Q, just clicking on there, and then I'm just dragging until it hits one of the vertices, and then control Q again, and there's none between there and then. I think that's the last one. Let me just check. It's the last one on a big curve. Yeah, there's one there. I think I'll put that one in there because there is still slight curve there, so I'm going to just drop that one in. Okay, and do the same. Actually, I'll just now show you how I'm going to tidy this piece up. So we've got our underlying curves turned on so I can see them, and I'm just going to get the vertex and going to press W on the keyboard to go into this move mode, and I'm just going to start to shift them on the X until they hit the right mark, which is there. Move it down a little bit with this one, and I might need to zoom in a little bit closer with it, and I'm just going to start to position them nicely so that they mirror that lovely curve that's going on around the inner D. And move that across to there. Take these, shift them across like that, and as you can see now I've created that nice round. So do exactly the same for this area up the top here. Just click control, press control Q, and repeat. So I'll see you in a second when I would have created these. Okay, so we're back now, and here is the D completed. So there we have it. We have them all now. So we can start to, well, you can clean it up for one thing, but I'm now going to go back to my poly group. I'm going to turn off these. I've got my poly group here, so I'm just going to select them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the history on them. So I'm going to go to edit, because if you notice, before I do that, let me show you, I've got tons of things in the attribute editor here, and I don't need loads of this stuff. So I want to get rid of the history. So I'm selecting it all, and I'm going to go to edit, and then I'm going to go to delete by type, history. And now all of this stuff has gone. So I haven't got any of the split curves or any of that stuff. I'm also going to select it in here. So I've got my poly group, and I'm also going to make sure I'm going to center the pivot, and I'm going to freeze the transformation. Okay, now I've got it all selected, I can go and I can actually extrude it all.